Pedro's Journal, A Voyage with Christopher Columbus, August 3rd, 1492 to February 14th, 1493. Just looking at the cover and the title, I can infer that this is probably going to be a historical fiction novel. There's no record of a young boy on the voyage with Columbus, so we can infer that this story is being told, it's grounded in historical fact, but that the character of the young boy in his journal is fiction, often used to make the story and the history a little more interesting. August 3rd. The ship's roster of the Santa Maria has me down as Pedro de Salcedo, ship's boy. And this captain of this ship, who calls himself Captain General of the Ocean Sea, has hired me not for my great love of the sea, nor for my seamanship, but because I have been taught to read and write, and he thinks it will be useful to have me along. So based on this first paragraph, I know the name of the ship that they're on is the Santa Maria, because it says the ship's roster of the Santa Maria. So the ship's roster keeps a list of everybody that's on the ship, and I know our main character, the one who's writing this journal, is listed as Pedro de Salcedo, a ship's boy. The captain of the ship we know is Columbus, probably, because it is his voyage, but it might not be. Columbus himself might be on another ship, and he might just be referring to the captain of this ship. We do know that Columbus was smart and was able to read and write, and that's why this young boy says he was hired, was because he also can read and write. Last night, when I boarded the Santa Maria with 40 others and made ready to begin this uncertain journey to India, I saw my mother standing alone on the dock, wrapped in her black shawl. So this is a large crew. This boy boarded this one boat with 40 other people, and it says they're getting ready to begin this uncertain journey. So they don't even know if they're going to make it. They know that it is a challenge. They do not know if they are going to be successful. And as he's looking back, he sees his mother. She lifted her hand to wave, and I turned away quickly. I have never been away from our home. I have never been on a ship as great as this one. I dedicate this journal, this parcel of letters and drawings, to my dear mother, who has lost so much and who I pray will not lose me as well. Me, her young boy, whom she calls Pedro de mi corazón, Pedro of my heart. So there is some fear here. He couldn't look at his mother for very long. He's never been away from her. He's going on a great journey. It sounds like it's his first big adventure. He's never been in this situation before, and he's praying that his mom doesn't lose him. He's praying that he doesn't die on this journey. He says his mom has lost so much, and he doesn't want her to lose him as well. And so he's keeping this journal and all these letters for his mom. We are a fleet of 3 ships, the Nina and Pinta with us, so those are the other 2 ships. They've got a total of 3. And this morning in the darkness, with no one watching or waving goodbye, we left the harbor at Palos and headed out for the sandbar on the Saltes River. There we waited for tide and wind, and then made way for the Canary Islands. We are to be the first ships ever to run a course west to the Indies, Marco Polo's land, where palaces are built of gold, where mandarins wear silk brocade, and pearls are the size of ripened grapes. So he even says in this journal entry, they're the first ones that are attempting to do this. They're the first ones ever to try to just go west all the way to the Indies. We know that this is a challenging route. The Portuguese had turned them down. And they are wanting to get to Marco Polo's land. Here he says they're trying to get to the Indies. So there may be some kind of confusion between our sources over the goal of Columbus's voyage. And they're wanting to get there because according to Marco Polo, there are palaces that are built of gold where mandarins wear silk brocade. Well, I can infer that mandarins are a people because I don't know of any inanimate object that wears silk. And it's saying that pearls are huge. So there should be a lot of wealth there is what they're expecting. A couple of the men are seasick and are already mumbling that we will never see this India our Captain General is so certain he will find. Me, I have no knowledge of maps or charts or distant journeys. I am only a ship's boy. There are 3 of us, and I am beginning to suspect that we will do all the work no one wants to do. So the crew's already getting kind of upset. They don't have faith in Columbus. They don't know if they're going to get to the goal. And then this boy is saying he's only a ship's boy, and there are 3 of them. And he thinks that they're just going to do all the random tasks that nobody else wants to do. So kind of like an errand boy. But already the captain favors me and has called upon me to write. Here we have an image, the illustration. We do always want to examine our illustrations. We can get knowledge from them. And we see the 3 ships here with the crest of Spain on their giant sails. And we can infer that this is his drawing, his interpretation of what the ships look like. To start that sentence over, but already the captain favors me and has called upon me to write and to copy certain of his writings. I believe he's testing me and will find I am capable and write a good hand. So the captain of the ship is using this young boy to write things, and then to copy the writings that the captain does. And this boy says, I think he's testing me and that he will find I can write very well. We know that this young boy was hired to be on this journey for his ability to read and write. So it sounds like the captain's kind of testing out his ability. The captain told me he was pleased to see my stomach is as strong as my handwriting. So we can make the inference here that even though some of the crew is getting seasick, this boy is not. He's had no problems. He's not getting seasick, and the captain's pleased with that. And he says that he also has strong handwriting, and he has encouraged me to sketch some of the things I see around me. So the captain's really encouraging him here to write, to sketch, to really keep a record. Perhaps I am a natural seaman, although I admit that looking over the side of this creaking ship into the swelling water can fill me with terror. So he's kind of maybe finding some comfort and some confidence, as maybe he is a natural at this, but looking over the side of the ship into the ocean, into this huge, vast expanse of water, does make him scared.